quick content note here before we begin this episode of What Am I Rolling? This episode's one-shot, User is Typing, Message Sent, contains themes related to social anxiety. Playing or listening to the game can lead to a headspace related to those kinds of feelings, including feelings of loneliness, sadness, depression, and generally thinking that nobody wants to talk to you. If you wish to avoid these themes just now, please feel free to skip this episode and come back if or when you're ready. Thanks for listening, and stay safe, my friends. Hello, and welcome to What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, hosted by me, Fiona. This week, I'm playing User is Typing, Message Sent, a solo RPG of instant messaging and anxiety by Nevin Holmes. Using a deck of playing cards and 3d6, User is Typing, Message Sent is a game about dealing with the social anxiety around interacting with the same people day in, day out, over the course of who knows how long. You can buy User is Typing, Message Sent and check out Nevin's other games on itch.io. I'll include links to it on the What Am I Rolling website and in this episode's show notes. So here's how User is Typing, Message Sent works. The game takes place on one single day in one person's life and represents the last hour or so before their workday ends. During play, the player builds up a spread of cards that represents both the players they're talking to and the conversations they have during that time frame. The player rolls dice to determine how their character perceives the impact the conversations have had on their friends and how they themselves feel afterwards. The player answers question prompts to determine the details of these conversations, and ultimately, they try to make it to the end of the day. As the game breaks up quite nicely into distinct sections, I'll go through each section before each part of the one-shot. One last thing before we begin. Naturally, there are times in this one-shot where the players and myself, mostly myself, get the rules wrong or forget something plot-wise. Whilst we always endeavour to stick to the rules wherever possible, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, and what matters most is that everyone enjoys themselves. So, with all that out of the way, let's play User is Typing, Message Sent. It's Tuesday, after lunch, and it's already been a long week. Today's been difficult, for one reason or another, and you're sitting at your desk feeling not quite as good as you could. Maybe you're upset about something. Maybe you're reading a bit too much into something someone said. Maybe it's just not a good day. You open up your instant messaging app to chat with some friends, hoping it will either help or make the day go by faster. You're pretty sure they won't mind. You chat with these people pretty often, pretty much like this. You're pretty sure you're not getting on their nerves. They're your friends, right? Chatting is what friends do, right? The first phase of the game is setting up the spread. This is the drawn and laid out cards that the player will be playing with. The spread is made up of three things: chats, friends, and conversations. A chat is an individual column of cards in the spread. It's made of a friend in the top row and a stack of conversations in the bottom row. The friends are the face cards, kings, queens, and jacks, and they're given a little bit more detail in the relationship table, which we'll get to in a moment. They're the characters the player interacts with during the game. To start, the player must shuffle the face cards, set them face down, and draw 4 cards from the stack. Then, without flipping them over, lay them face down in 4 distinct columns. Conversations are the cards in the second row of the spread, and these are made up of value and joker cards. The player must shuffle those cards together and deal 4 stacks of 4, still face down, in the second row beneath the first. This means we should end up with 4 stacks of 4 conversations, 1 stack per friend. So, I'm going to set up the spread, so I need to separate my face cards, so kings, queens, and jacks, from the value and joker cards. There we go. They're separate. Let's see, 4 jacks, 4 queens, and 4 kings. Excellent. Shuffle the face cards and set them face down, so you're looking at their backs. Just shuffling those face cards. Pick 4 from the stack of cards and without flipping them over, lay them face down in 4 distinct columns. It doesn't say from the top of the pile. I'm just going to pick 4 out. So I'm going to pick this one from the middle. I'm going to pick this one from the middle and this one. And we'll pick the top card as well. Okay, so I've got 4 face down in a row. These are the friends you'll chat with during the game. All right, pretty simple. Now shuffle the value and joker cards together. All right. All right, that's good enough. Deal 4 stacks of 4, still face down, in the second row beneath the first. So 4 stacks of 4 in the one below. Okay. All right. Next, the player must flip the face cards in the first row to reveal their friends and use the relationship table to learn their screen names and who they are. On a piece of paper, they must write down the name of each friend and their starting energy. The player must then also write down their own starting energy, which is 12. Energy here means 2 things. For the player, it's a factual representation of how they're feeling. Lower energy means you're feeling more tired or burnt out, whereas higher energy means you're feeling more positive or energetic. For friends, energy is a perceived representation of how they're feeling, but not a factual one. This is something that the player is assuming based on how the game plays out. Once the spread is set up, we're ready to play. You've met everyone at different points in your life, and they're all important to you. You think you're important to them too, but you may not have ever explicitly asked. You know their online screen names, but have they told you their real names? Have you told them yours? Flip your friends to reveal their faces and use the relationship table to learn their screen names and who they are. So I have a table, and across the top, the names of the columns are hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. And then in the rows, I've got Jack, Queen, King. And it says people on the same columns and rows know each other. First one is the Jack of Clubs. So my first one, which is Jack of Clubs, they will know all the other jacks in that row, but they'll also know all the other clubs. And I've got Lootators 29, according to the table. Their starting energy is 10, and their little bio, it says second cup of coffee and pessimistic. Oh, God, already I can see this going badly. Okay, second friend, flipping the card. So this person, King of Clubs, is someone called Recalcium. So this person will know Lootators 29 and vice versa. They have 15 energy, and in their bio they have Reckless and Rex Shit. Oh man, already I don't like these people. Why are they my friends? Okay, third friend I'm talking with. It's the Jack of Hearts. So this person will know Lootators 29 and vice versa. Jack of Hearts is Thinked 29. Thinked 29. Okay. Their starting energy, oh wow, they have a load of starting energy. They have 20 starting energy. And their little bio says, shorthand typing, likes bagels, dislikes authority. Okay, final card. It's another king, King of Spades. So Recalcium will know this person. So this person is called Stray Rich Dad. Why do people pick such rubbish names? Stray Rich Dad, I'm going to say. They have 15 energy to start, and gentle, witty, could use a mug is their bio. I mean, I don't know what that means, but okay, so those are my 4 friends that I'm talking to. My starting energy is 12. All right. Before a player flips a conversation, they must ask, consider, and answer one of the following 4 questions about the friend in question. Where did we meet? How long have we been friends? When was the last time we fought? And when was the last time I told them I love them? The player can only answer each question once per friend and should aim to answer them all for each friend. Before you flip a conversation, ask and consider the answer to one of the 4 questions. You can only answer each question once per friend, and you should aim to answer them all for each friend. I think for ease, I'm just going to answer them in the order that they come, because that's just easier. Cool. Start with chat 1, so the leftmost column. So this is our Lutators 29. Flip a conversation over, find its meaning in the conversations table using the suit and value. So before I flip, let me think about this person. So Lutators 29. The first sort of question prompt is, where did we meet? Oh, it's going to be, I'm going to have met them. So all of us is our internet friends, is what I'm getting from this. I think it is, we met during a live stream. We were watching an RPG being played out, and they were getting a little bit cross about how the rules were being played, right? It's one of those ones where, they get the rules wrong, but it's fine. Like, it's like, oh, rule of cool it. And they were just like, no, that's not right. Ugh, these people never get stuff right. And maybe I engaged them as like, well, everyone always gets this rule wrong, but this is actually a house rule. And just getting chatty like that. Not an argument. I'm going to say that straight away. We're not arguing with this person, but I think it was just interesting. And so we took the conversation off, discussing about how different ways we can implement rules for games to get them sort of good, and then having this conversation about streamed games being different to maybe your home game. So that's where I think we met. We think we met during a live stream.
Starting with the first chat, the leftmost column, the player must flip over a conversation and find its meaning on the conversations table using its suit and value. If the value is even, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, they roll 2d6. If it's odd, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, they roll 3d6. Once the player's rolled, they must add up the evens and odds separately. The odds total gets added to the player's energy. The player must then subtract the evens total from their friend's energy, then answer any questions prompted by the conversation in the conversation table. Note, if all the dice rolls are odd, the player must then subtract half that total from their energy instead. Just a note here that in the original game, it asks for the player to cut up or mark conversation cards once they're done. I didn't do that for this game because I didn't want to be cutting up cards unnecessarily, but feel free to look in the full rules on what to do for it.
So, I'm going to flip the card for the first one. It's the 8 of spades. If the conversation value is even, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, roll 2d6. If it's odd, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, roll 3d6. So the conversation, spades, and it's even. A new hobby. Why haven't you started it yet? So hobbies is the topic. Why haven't I started? First of all, you need to roll it, so I'm going to roll 2d6. Oh, 2 1s I rolled. Add up the evens and odds separately. Add the odds to my energy. If all the dice rolls are odds, subtract half from the total instead. Oh, shoot. Okay. Add the odds total to your energy. So I've got 2 1s, but it says if all the dice roll odds, subtract half the total amount instead. So I need to subtract 1 from my energy, which is 11. Didn't roll any even, so I don't take that from my friend's energy. And then answer any questions prompted by the conversation in the conversations table. Okay.
After the player has flipped a conversation, they ask, consider, and answer one of the following 4 questions. What specifically did we talk about, and why did the conversation go that way? How do I think they're doing? What do they do for a living? What's something we both like? The player can only answer each question once per friend and should aim to answer them all for each friend.
Okay, what specifically did we talk about, and why did the conversation go this way? So we're talking about why we haven't started a new hobby. We've been looking at different rulebooks and RPGs, and I think we were trying to get together gaming group to try out a one-shot of a brand new system. And we both have it, and we're really excited to do it. And I think there's been, not a disagreement, but I think there's been this sort of unanswered open question about who is running the game. We're both excited to do it, but I think, and maybe it's a bit of a cliche here, but I think neither of us want to be the GM for it. We want to play in it instead. And neither of us have broached the question, so it's sort of, it's all that they're going, oh yeah, I really can't wait till we try this together and we're getting the friends together and stuff. But the reason it's sort of stalled is that neither one of us have gone, so I'm running it, right? So I guess we've been talking about it, and then it's like, great. Well, it's like a stopping point in the sense of like, what's going on? Do we know if it is going to go ahead? Because this is the big decision, right? You need someone who is the GM to run it and be the facilitator. And let's face it, I think there's a lot of players who think, oh God, it's a lot of prep to run and stuff like that. And it is. It's just a different way of playing. And I think that's the thing, is that neither of us want to be that person because we think it's a lot of prep, but it's not. And it's just like, ooh, dancing around it. It then says, using your scissors, cut the conversation into 2 pieces. It doesn't need to be perfect, down the middle, or even pretty. Tape it back together, and again, that doesn't need to be pretty. Alternatively, you can mark the card with a black line and put the conversation to the bottom of the stack it comes from. All right, so I'm doing that. That's that first conversation.
Once they have answered, the player must put the conversation at the bottom of the stack it came from, and then move on to the next friend, and repeat the whole process. The player should continue to have a conversation in this way with each person, going from left to right. This is known as a round.
Now we're going on to recalcium. So before I flip, I need to answer one of the prompts. So how do I know recalcium? Where did we meet? Okay, so how did I meet recalcium? Looking at them, reckless and Rex shit. And they know lutators, because they're both in the clubs column of the relationship table. Fuck it, same place. Met through watching a stream of RPG together. They're a bit more chaotic, in a sense. Maybe they're that sort of person who spams the chat with emojis. Maybe they've been banned from a bot or two. Maybe they've been, like, frozen or banned briefly, temporary ban, because they just engage so much, and it's not necessarily. But they, when they do engage, they are quite, they have something interesting to say. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, let's do that. So they are someone that's part of this forum or part of this stream, and we sort of chat in and just chat. Their ideas of like storytelling and their ideas of things. They are. How about this? They're different to Lutators 29 because they would be like, yeah, this is how they should do the rule, and completely misinterpret it, but for the rule of cool stuff. That makes them complete opposites. I like that. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so if I flip the thing, it is 4 of spades again. Okay, so this is again on the hobbies theme, looking at the table, and it's even. So it's the same question, is that why haven't they started a new hobby? Conversation is even, so I've got to roll 2d6. Oh, a 2 and a 6. Excellent. They're oh no, they're even. Fuck. Okay, that's 8. So 8, I have to subtract the evens total from my friend's energy. Oh wow, so their 15 energy goes down to 7. Fuck. Really bad. Well, this kind of makes sense then, because again, the suit is about hobbies and why haven't we started this hobby? And if I answer that first question about what specifically did we talk about and why has the conversation gone this way, so I feel that they feel like this, easily they're one of the people we want to be involved in this RPG group, that we want to try out this new system, and they're really super keen for it. They're super keen, but to the point where they like keep bothering me with questions and like asking me stuff, and I keep going, I don't know. I let slip that I don't know who is GMing and I'm not so sure, and I start telling this person my worries about like, well, because I don't mind it, but I don't know if this person does it, and it's a bit of quiet, and then there's like the 3 dots and then nothing, and another 3 dots and then nothing, and eventually went, oh, it's cool, bro. Oh, it's cool. Whatever, just get it, I just want to play. And I feel, because that's so unlike them, that it makes me feel like, oh God, I've really upset them because I've kind of given them an answer that they weren't expecting, and because they're super passionate and they can't wait to play with us, and then it's sort of the passion and enthusiasm ebbing a bit, so they're a bit cross with me because I've not made a decision, and now they've gone a little bit silent. Yeah, I feel a bit awful about that because, I do want to play, but I don't know where my role is in that. Whew, that was a bad conversation though. All right, putting that to the bottom. Okay, moving on to Thinked 29. There's a Jack of Hearts. So they know Lutate as well. I assume that we're all going to be involved in this this RPG one-shot that we're putting together. Where did we meet? And they do know Lutators. I mean, fuck it, we all know each other. So, yeah, I think they know Lutator's... I think this is Lutator's partner. When I got added to like a Discord or something like that, this person was also there. And we just chatted briefly about RPGs, but also some other things as well, just chatting about, other things and topics. Like they live in another different country. They really like their video games. They're not really too much into RPGs. And we just chatted about board games and stuff. And yeah, I think, just going on from that, we're doing all right. No, up or down. And they seem really with it. They seem really together as a result. Cool. All right, flipping a card. Ace of clubs. Oh, there's a special rule for aces.
Jokers and aces are special cards. They represent impactful conversations with mechanics to represent this. If a joker is drawn, the player feels that they were too intense with their friend and may have been too much for them. They must roll 3d6. If the evens total up to more than the odds, the friend is removed from play. If the odds total up more than the evens, the player must burn the friend and then remove it from play. Finally, the player must lower their energy to half its current value, rounded down. If an ace is drawn, the player decides if they feel the conversation was light or intense. If the conversation was light, the player rolls 1d6 and adjusts the energy as usual. If the conversation was intense, the player rolls 4d6 and adjusts the energy as usual.
If I draw an ace, I can decide if the conversation was light or intense. If you choose a light conversation, roll 1d6 and adjust the energy as usual. If I choose an intense conversation, roll 4d6 and adjust the energy as usual. Whose energy do I adjust? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess, okay, I have a conversation with them. The topic, if I look at the table, is clubs, industry news, what is the latest in entertainment. From the way I've described this person, I think it's a light conversation because, again, just talking to me about... Basically, I think all they've done is sent me a link to a Kickstarter that's blowing up. And they're like, thought you would like this. Because it's a light conversation, I'm going to roll a d6. And it's a 6. So that's an energy that I have to take away from them, I think. Yep. So that's now, they're on 14. Because they were on 20 originally, they're now on 14. Ooh, okay. So I guess they send me this link going, oh, saw this thought of you. I think I would have already seen this. And I've got, oh yeah, this looks really good. I've already backed it to whatever level it is. It's going to be really great. I'm really excited for this because it's got this, this, and this. And I don't receive anything back. And I sort of kick myself a little bit because I'm like, oh, yeah, this person's not into role-playing games like I am. And so I'm like, shit. All right, my final friend, Shredded Dad, I believe that's how you pronounce them. Where did we meet? So this person knows Recalcium, according to the table. They're another friend of Recalcium. Yeah, so they're okay. Solid. Yeah, this makes sense. This person is the partner of Recalcium. So we've got Lutators and their partner, Thinked 29. I mean, yeah, that makes sense because they know it. Yeah, perfect. And then Lutators knows Recalcium, and Recalcium's partner is Shredded, or however you pronounce that name. When you have usernames like that, they're, you never say them out loud. You just at them and you write them and stuff. Perfect. Okay. How did we meet? Met in this Discord group that Lutators put together with Recalcium, and this is their partners, and we're just all chatting about RPG games, just like a cool friends group, essentially, based off this RPG stream we all watched together. Brilliant. Cool. All right. So I'm going to flip the card. 6 of hearts. So that's an even number. So I have to roll 2d6. Oh, 3 and a 6. Oh my goodness. 3 and 6. So that's 9. I have to take 9 away from this person. Damn. All right. So they've only got 6 energy left out of 15. And hearts. I don't think we've had a hearts conversation yet. The topic is interpersonal, and it's a new experience. Was it worth it? Okay, so let's talk about this conversation. What specifically did we talk about, and why did the conversation go this way, which obviously was a bit negative for this person, or as I've foreseen it, and it's a new experience. Was it worth it? I think for ease, I'll say this partner of Recalcium is into board games and RPGs and stuff like that, compared to Thinked29. Okay. All right. Oof. I think what it would have been, they would have sent me a couple of images of some minis that they were painting, some RPG minis, because maybe that's their speciality. And they were asking me, what did I think? They're just starting out and they really enjoy it, yada, yada, yada. And I don't think the minis look very good. In fact, I think they look pretty naff. Like they're very plasticky. You can see the lines on them, etc. And so I criticise the models themselves. And I'm like, they're plasticky. They're not going to last long. Like, I don't know. The paint, what paint did you use? Because, you got to use certain paints for it to stick and blah, 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 blah. How much did you pay for it? Like, was it even worth it? Like, you should have let me know, and I could have given you some advice on stuff. And it goes quiet, and they say that their partner, Recalcium, was the one that got them it, and it cost a lot of money for like a birthday gift. And it's just like very short, sharp sentences, and I'm like, oh, great. So yeah, good job, me.
At the end of a round, the player can choose to give some of their own energy to their friends. The player may give in whatever amounts they want. However, the total they give is then removed from their pool of energy.
Alright, so that's the end of the round. I've had some very interesting conversations with people. So looking at the damage, I've got 11 energy. I'm going to give... Okay, I'm going to give 4 energy. I'm going to give 2 to Recalcium and 2 to their partner Shredder Dad. So they both go up to 9 and 8 respectively. Because they took a hefty amount of damage from my conversations. So that gives me down to 7 energy. And I think that's the first round. Going back to Lutators29, I'm going to answer the second question about them. How long have we been friends? I think we've both been long-time watchers of the stream. I'm going to say a year. I think, considering how many good friends I've made in this year, for me, thanks to the pandemic, I think roughly about a year I've known this person. All right, I've pulled the 4 of clubs. Rolling the dice. 2 and 5. Okay, so I subtract 2 from Lutators, so they're now on 8 energy, and I gain 5. That's 12. Can't even think how to... Yeah, it's 12, right? And the conversation that is prompted, if I look, so it's a club, it's entertainment is the topic, and 4, so it's evens, a new artist. Do you like their work? How do I think Lutators29 is doing? And the topic is a new artist. Do I like their work? Going off what we were saying before about this live stream stuff and making the RPG, I bet the conversation stalls briefly, and then Lutator sends through a couple of art pictures from the new RPG book that got announced without comment. And they're really nice. I really like them. But because they're without comment, I'm like, does this feel like a good time to ask who is running the game? Has the moment passed? Should we just, do I prep? Do I not? I don't know what to do, per se. And so I ask. And I don't get a response back. I actually ask, so who is GMing this game? And I feel a bit of relief that I've done it. But then they don't answer back, at least straight away. So how do I think they're doing? I don't think they were expecting me to ask. I think they just... I realise, now that I've written it and I've sent it, I'm like, oh God, they probably didn't even think Like, it wasn't an issue. Like, it was all we'd already said in something like and I missed it, and now they're thinking, oh, that's how that's how I feel. Moving on to Recalcium. How long have we been friends for? I think the same thing, a little over a year, maybe a little bit less, because I think Lutators I knew longer. So roughly about a year, I think. All right, flipping the card. It's another ace. It's a hearts. It's an ace and hearts. Let me look at the question first. Somebody new. How do you feel about them? Okay, so now I have to decide. I have to think whether or not it's a light conversation or an intense conversation. So the topic is about interpersonal, someone new. How do you feel about them? I'm going to go for an intense conversation, so I have to roll 4d6, right? I'll roll that first. I have an idea how this conversation will go. Ooh, that's a lot of odd numbers. So the even number, so the 2 is taken away from their energy, so they're now back down to 7 energy. But I gain 9 energy. Whoa, I'm back up. 21. New person, how do I feel about it? And how do I think they're doing? So based on that previous conversation, I snap and I tell them all the stuff. I think it's a bit of a pause. And then they say, hey, I might have somebody who's interested in running that system for us. Their name is whatever username. They're really cool. They're really on it. And they're looking for people to practice their GM skills with. Maybe they can run the game. And I feel so elated as a result because, like, I feel like, oh, thank goodness, like, phew, like this conversation's gone really great for me now because I've said it and I thought I'd butchered it. But again, because they're not using emojis or they're not, it's taken a little while for them to say it and it seems like a very serious conversation. Maybe I'm reading way too much into it now. But I think they're doing all right. I think they've taken on what I said and they're going, okay, how can I make this better? I feel a lot of relief about that. And I think, judging them, like, I think they were a little bit put out by what I said previously. And I think they're now struggling to come up with something because they really want to play as well. Great, okay. So Thinked 29, so Lutator's 29 partner. How long have we been friends for? Not that long. Friends is a strong word. I think we're just in the same group. I'd say maybe 6 months I've known them, maybe a little bit less, because we've sort of built up this friendship with Lutators and Recalcium. So yeah, 6 months, but I don't know them that well at all. Flipping the card, it is a 9 of spades. So this is our first odd numbered suit, and the topic is spades. So it's hobbies again. Something you made. How long have you wanted to make it? But first I need to roll. So this is 3d6. I need to roll for the energy. Move that out of the way. 1, 4, 6. That's 10 even and 1 odd. Whoa. Okay. So that 10 gets taken away from the Thinked energy because it's even. So they go from 14 to 4. Holy shit. Whoa. They lost a lot of energy. Yeah, shoot. And then I get 2 energy. Whoa, okay. That's not great. That's not great at all. So the question is, how do I think they're doing? Not great. They're not doing great. And the topic of conversation is, something you made, how long have you wanted to make it? Realising that I've made a faux pas because they sent me this link to a Kickstarter, I panic and I sort of say, well, I've been thinking about making my own RPG. And I start putting it through about, I'm thinking about this dice system, and I've been working on it like day and night, and I've been thinking maybe instead of having it as D&D, but like maybe having it like as a sci-fi with, ship rules and combat and morale, and you have all these guns and all that sort of thing. And I just go into a lot of detail, like a huge big thing, but to the point where it's like over, like message, like, when it's like at the speed of thought, bing, 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 bing. I think I hit a wall where I've sent too many messages in one go because I'm just typing how I feel and all that sort of thing. And it gives me a timeout, the server itself. Thinked 29 doesn't respond at all. And I feel like, oh God, I've done it again. Like, they were just giving me something because they thought I'd like it. And not only did I say, I know about it already, but here's how my stuff is better. That's how I see it anyway. And then this person's gone. That doesn't feel great. And that feels really bad. Okay, finally, Shredded. They're on 8 energy. How long have I known them for? Known them for the same, I think Lutator and Recalcium I've known for the longest, about a year. And then their partners, so Think 29 and Shredded, about 6 months, maybe less. I feel like I know this person a little bit more because we've had conversations about RPGs and minis. Okay, I've pulled the 8 of diamonds. So that's an evens. So I need to roll 2d6. And what is the topic? We've not done diamonds yet. Is it money? A mistake? How were you at fault? Ooh, I think I know what that is. But let me roll to see how well this conversation goes. It's a 4 and a 2, so that's even. Oh wow, that's I have to take that away from the energy. They only have 2 energy left. Damn. Okay. How do I think they're doing? And it's related to this money-themed. It's a mistake. How were you at fault? So we've talked about these minis. We've talked about how I didn't think they were very good. And this person has just revealed that their partner, Recalcium, had bought it for their birthday for a lot of money. I then do some Googling, and I find these minis for a lot cheaper. They're sell-offs. They're off-brand, whatever. And I'm like, well, Recalcium might have said they were expensive, but I've just found them for a job lot on eBay for like 30, 40 pounds. And the tone goes icy, like, what the fuck? You know, and I'm like, yeah, here's the link. And they're like, there's a lot of pausing, as I assume Shredded is contacting Recalcium about it, so I'm no doubt I'll have a replay of that later. I think it's one line that says, I enjoyed painting them though, full stop. And then I feel really bad. Like I thought I was helping out by saying, they're actually not supposed to be that expensive. You've been ripped off. And now I feel really bad because I've ruined something that they were enjoying doing. End of the round. Okay, so I've got 22 energy now at the end of the round. I'm going to give stuff to all of them because they need it. Looking at the energies, I've got Lutator on 8 energy, got Recalcium on 7 energy, Think 29 on 4 energy, and Shredded on 2 energy. So these final 2 will have a lot of energy. I want to make sure everyone gets up to double figures, I think. So that's 2, 3, so 5. Oh man, this is going to be really difficult. Hang on. 2, 3, so that's 5. Fuck. I don't think I can get them all up to 10. Alright, let's make this simple. Okay, so I'm going to give 8 energy to Shredded, so they're back up to 10 energy. And then I'm down to 14 energy. I'm going to give 6 energy to Think 29. So they're back up to 10. And I'm down to 8. And then I'm going to give 1 energy to Recalcium. So they're on to 8 as well. So I've got 8, 8, 10, 10 throughout all my friends. Whew. And I'm on 7 energy after that round. Whoa, that was intense. Okay. I would assume if I run out of energy, it's game over, that I'm done. I don't think it says it anywhere. It talks about what happens if my friends run out of energy. Back to the top, so back to Lutator 29. When was the last time we fought? Not for a while, actually. I think we've had disagreements. We've not had a full-out fight, though. Although we could do at the end of this. I don't think we've ever really fought. We've definitely disagreed and been vocal about it, but I don't think we've ever had a big fight about it. Alright, flip the conversation. It's 8 of Hearts. 8 of Hearts. That's interpersonal, I think. Yeah, interpersonal. It's an 8. It's even. A new experience. Was it worth it? Okay, so that's at the back of my mind. Was it worth it? And what do I think they do for a living is the question. But it's even, so let me roll 4 and a 5. Oh man, they're losing all their energy. So, energy-wise, they're on 8 minus 4 that I've just rolled. So that is 4 energy they're on, and I gained 5 energy. So I'm on 12 now. Okay, so was it worth it is the new experience, and what do I think they do for a living? They probably have a boring office job, Lutator 29, but I think they're an aspiring artist. The artwork that they shared last time, they've shared other artists for a while of different RPG systems. They're very much the ones that share the customized dice, custom portraits of players, of original characters and stuff. So it makes me feel that they really like that. So maybe, I think they really enjoy that art. They enjoy being creative. So it leads me to think that they're not in a creative pursuit currently, that they are in an office job, or they're in a job which doesn't fulfill them or engage them. But I don't know because they've never told me. And was it worth it? New experience, was it worth it? Looking at the conversation and the way it's gone, I think they finally respond back with, I mean, I don't mind to run it. That's cool. And I feel like getting a massive relief. It's like, oh, great, yeah, I get to play. But then I'm wondering, like, oh, have you... And I say, that's great. And he goes, yeah, like, I've not ever run this system before. I've not really even really GM'd before. That's the thing that surprises me, is that we've talked so much about rules and how things should be done. I just assumed that they did know all that stuff. And now they've revealed this vulnerability that they don't. I'm like, oh, God, now I've put all this pressure on them to run a game, when maybe they were thinking that we could do it together, maybe as a co-op GM. Again, we never really explored that topic, or they just assumed I was doing it. So, finding this out, was it worth to find out that they'd never GM'd before? I mean, it's useful. I feel better that I know that, but at the same time, I've now put them in a really difficult position, or I feel like I put them in a difficult position. So, I don't know. Moving on to Recalcium. When was the last time we fought? I think we've butted heads over things. They are definitely annoying as a friend. In chat, they're annoying. They're the ones that share the gifts. They're the ones that, you open something and it's, you just lost the game, or you get whamageddoned, that sort of thing. And I definitely would have been like, hey, can you fucking stop? It's so fucking irritating. Like, no, it's just having fun, God, where's your sense of humour? It's just a bit of banter. And that really fucking irritates me. Why am I friends with this fucker? Ugh, anyway. So yeah, I think the last time we fought would have been... it would have been like a month or so ago when I sort of was like, ooh, I bet I got them banned from a stream temporarily because they were so irritating, like it was really impossible. And they found out. And we had a bit of a messenger war back and forth. I think I backed down and said sorry, and it left me very uncomfortable, that conversation. That I did something and I had such a backlash from it. I wasn't comfortable with it. So, let's Recalcium's card. So, 10 of Hearts. Okay, so that's an even number again, and it's the Hearts comes up, interpersonal. A new experience, was it worth it for you? And what do I think they do for a living? Okay, so it's in the back of my mind. Roll 2d6 for the energy. I will say Recalcium's on 8 energy just now, and I'm on 12. Ooh, 2 and 4. So you add the evens up, that's 6, and you take it away. Shit. So they're now down to 2 energy. So in the last conversation I had with them, they brought up this person of a new person coming in. Oh, what do they do for a living? I don't know. They've never really mentioned it. I don't think they work. I think they're in education. Like, either as an undergrad, or maybe a postgrad, or one of those sort of mature students. Because it feels like they're always online. They're always around. And I think they have all these connections as a result. So they've connected me to this person who's willing to GM. And whilst I'm excited for it, I think there's an initial sort of like, oh, you're getting excited again. And then they send me through their character. And because they've made a character, but sort of like, I want it to be like this. And I'm thinking like based on this sort of type, this trope from this TV show and this, and this, and there's like lots of cultural references. And they've made a character, and I would say, because they're not fond of following rules and stuff, it doesn't fit in the system. And as someone who's read the system quite well, it's a bit awkward. And I say, well, I do this, the explainer thing and go, well, actually, and then I go through the character sheet. I tell you what, if they send me a PDF of the character sheet, I save it, I make my revisions on it, send it back with character sheet _edited _ my name, and send it back and say, oh, I've just made some, just because of these things, and I get nothing back. I mean, I know I'm not getting much back from these people straight away. And they're like, oh, well, you've changed my character completely then. This is my first time creating a character. I just wanted this cool idea. And I've just gone through and edited it rather than suggesting things. So I can imagine they feel pretty fucking shit about that. That I've just, like, they've helped me in a little way, and then I've just stomped on what they want to do as a character. And yeah, that's that. Okay, Thinked 29. They're on 10 energy. When was the last time we fought? Never. We've never fought. I don't know them that well. They're the partner of Lutator, and they're not into RPGs and stuff like that. So they would have seen me have disagreements, certainly with Recalcium, over their stuff, over the stream and the bots and stuff. So I would think that they're aware, but we've never interacted enough to make it worthwhile. All right, flipping the card. 7 of diamonds. As an odd number, and diamonds is money topic, I think. Let me see. Yes, diamonds is money. Odds. Looking on the table. Something at work. How does it affect you? Something at work, how does it affect you? And what do I think they do for a living? Okay, rolling 3d6 for the energy. Hey, yeah, this is okay. I've rolled 4, 3 and 3. So the odds, so that's 6, gets added to me. So I'm now on 18. And then the evens, which is a 4, gets taken away. So they're on 6 energy currently. What do they do for a living? And something at work, how does it affect you? They get back to me in their conversation. And they apologise for saying, sorry, didn't respond, something's come up at work. And I know they work in retail. So they're on like a till or something like that, so they would have been on their break, which I would have remembered at this point, after it'd been like a little while, and then they responded back saying, sorry, I didn't respond, something happened at work, had a customer complaint. And they're like, yeah, it's that sounds cool, your stuff, thanks, whatever. And I sort of feel, I feel relief, because they weren't ignoring me, or I didn't frighten them off, but at the same time, I feel like, oh, shit, this person's got a lot on their plate. We've got a whole host of things on, and I'm just burdening them with my, like, ideas and, like, thoughts and stuff like that. And I should have put in, like, oh, it's not urgent, you don't have to read this now, or, oh, not important, don't read, and all that sort of thing. And, yeah, I don't feel great that I'm glad that they're not ignoring me, but then I'm starting to doubt myself whether, oh, maybe they were ignoring me, maybe I'm being paranoid. The last thing they need is me whittering on at them about fucking RPG games which they don't care about. And yeah, that's kind of that. Okay, then finally on to Shredderdad. They're on 10 energy just now. When was the last time we fought? Well, we're fighting right now. In the sort of sense of Cold War fighting about minis. I don't think we've had a previous fight. I'll say that. Like, it's always been nicety, and we've always, shared passions and stuff, but now I think, like, I'm wondering now if it's coming out that it's really sort of like, actually, it wasn't okay for you to say this. As a sort of final straw. Maybe that's how I'm feeling about this situation, that, oh, I've made a big faux pas, and it's like, yes, you've made a faux pas, and actually, you've been doing this whole time. So yeah, that's not great. Not great. Okay, flipping the conversation. 6 of diamonds. So it's an evens money one. So a mistake how are you at fault is the thing. And what do I know what they do for a living? Okay, so first of all, we'll roll for the energy. They're currently on 10. Ooh. Okay, I've rolled a 1 and a 5, so that's 6 odd. But that's all odd. So I have to subtract half the total instead. So I have to subtract 3, so now I'm down to 15 energy. But they don't go away, so that's fine. That's good. Okay, they don't lose any energy, so that's good for me. How was I at fault for over money? Makes sense. I'm continuing the conversation from last time. I apologise profusely. I realise what I'm doing. I was like, look, I'm so sorry. You know, I thought I was helping, and I realise now that I'm not, and I should have realised, what you've done with the painting, you've done such a good job. I didn't realise that it was the first time you were painting, and it's amazing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I've ruined this for you. Maybe I wouldn't say ruined, but I'm sorry that I've upset you. And I feel like it's a great job. You've done a fantastic job with these minis. They look really fucking cool. I wish I could paint as well as you. I've not painted in ages, and I don't really have minis anymore because they're so expensive, and I should have realised that. I spoke before thinking, so I apologise. And I think admitting that mistake, they're sort of like, it's okay. I just, hard day at the office. And I remember that they do say that they are part of a big office team. It's a global team, that they're working on big projects, something to do with business. This person, whoever they are so different to Recalcium, their partner, and compared to their shittiness, etc., this person is gentle, witty, and could use a hug. So this person is, like, they get angry, but they're like, no, it's okay. It's been a hard day, and hey, it's fine. That they're just fucking space marines. What of it? Quite funny about it in the end. End of the penultimate round. So looking at the tables, we've got Lutator 29 is on 4 energy. Recalcium is on 2 energy. Thinked 29 is on 6 energy, and Shredderdad is on 10 energy. And I have 15 energy. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to give Lutator, Recalcium, and Thinked each 4 energy. So that should be 12 energy in total, which leaves me with 3. So Lutator is now on 8, Recalcium is on 6, and Thinked is on 10. I am on 3. So I'm feeling really burnt out as a result. I feel awful about what I've done. And I'm starting to, really question certainly how Recalcium feels. Lutator, I'm struggling a little bit with this. I'm feeling they're a bit like, they did have a really bad round last time, but I don't know. And then Thinked 29 was fine, and then bobbing back and forth, and I think I've recovered it in that last one. So I think we're okay. Final round. So starting with Lutator, when was the last time I told them I loved them? I've never told Lutator 29 that I love them. And I think this goes for all of them to a certain extent. I think the fierceness of the relationship we've had, this friendship, about bonding over something that we really, really fucking love, and being able to talk to somebody about it and collaborate and be creative, saying, I love you, mate, when you've only ever spoken to them online, and you've not even shared their real names or anything like that, it's hard. I don't think I've ever done that. And I don't think I ever would do that with Lutator. Like, we were really bonding over something, then we've hit this sort of point in this conversation, and now I'm like, shit. I was kind of insulting to them, and I just made an assumption about them, and now I'm like, I'm grasping at straws with this conversation. So, yeah. The final conversation I have with them until the end of the work. The 5 of Spades. That's an odd. Spades is hobbies. Going back to where we started, I think. Yes. Something you made. How long have you wanted to make it? And, what's the final question? What's something we both like? I mean, I've already answered that. I've already answered that another way. Okay, all right, well, rolling for energy. So they're currently on 8 energy. Oh, shit. Okay, so I rolled 1, 1, 1. That's 1 odd, so I add that to me, so that's 4. But I've rolled on the other 2 dice 6 and 4, which is 10. I have to take that even number away from Lutator, who's only on 8 energy. I mean, I don't know what happens. They're not removed from play. I just think they're fucking done with me. What's something we both love? And the something I made. How long have I wanted to make it? Okay. So I think this is how this conversation ends with Lutator 29. So not removed from play. We're not friends, and we're not friends anymore. But I think it ends with quite a hard stop. So I think I share with them what I shared with their partner. I actually go, oh, I didn't mean to assume that you couldn't GM or anything like that, but well, if you were willing to GM that, I was going to think about maybe showing my new RPG system that I'm thinking of. And I start talking about it and go into a lot of detail, and they send back like, oh, cool. Well, maybe you should consider being that instead of the RPG we've been talking about. And then it just says, Lutator offline. And that feels pretty shit. Recalcium. When was the last time I told them I loved them? Never. I'm getting the sense that this Recalcium person is somebody who I don't know, I'm starting to realise I kind of don't want to be friends with them. The way they are and the way they treat others around them as sort of almost like they're the class clown in a sense, but they make fun at your expense. And just looking at the way this has gone, in my head, every time it's like a red flag, I think to recap on that whole character that they sent me, they sort of like, it's my idea, how dare you, blah, 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 blah. And they just go off on one. They sort of like, how could you think that? You know, how could you? And I'm just like, I didn't mean that. I thought I was helping. And I'm realising that maybe this person isn't the kind of person I want to be friends with. So they're currently on 6 energy. I'm going to flip the card. It's a Joker! Oh, that's exciting. And you know what? This is very thematic. So when you draw a Joker, you feel that you were too intense with your friend and may have been too much for them. I have to roll 3d6. If the evens total up to more than the odds, the friend is removed from play. If the odds total up more than the evens, you must burn the friend and remove it from play. Okay, well, let's do that first. I mean, they're going to be removed from play, and it makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. It's all odds. So, excellent. Okay, it's all odds. So, in effect, if I was playing this, I would burn the card and remove them from play. And then finally, lower your energy. So, wait, hang on. So, and shuffle it back into the stack of conversations and divide the cards up as you would any other time one of your friends is removed from play. I've got to be honest, it never says anything about removing the friends from play anywhere. At least not that I can see in this quick start. So I think I've effectively thrown 2 friends out currently. But then the final thing, I have to go down my current energy. You lower your energy to half of its current value rounded down. So I go from 4 to 2 energy. So this has really burnt me out, this conversation. So yeah, I guess it finally ends with this person going, how dare you? And I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. And I think it's just a barrage of, not abuse, but definitely a barrage of like, you know, this is my idea, you're always doing this, yada, 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 and I just block it. I block Recalcium. Okay. What's something we both like? Doesn't fucking matter. I think we both like being right, and I think we both like being treated with respect, and that's not happened here on either of our sakes, but yeah. Think 29. When was the last time I told them I loved them? I wouldn't have no reason to. Our paths barely cross means nothing, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever say that to them. Flipping the card. 5 of diamonds. So we had this before. Something at work. How does it affect you? Okay, so 3d6 for energy. They're currently on 10 energy, so hopefully... Well, we'll see. Holy shit. Oh no, it's fine. Oh no, it's not fine. Fuck. 2 6s and a 5. So that 5 goes to me as odd. So I'm now up to 7 energy. But they take 12 energy away from Think 29, who's only on 10. God damn it. So I think what happens is that I apologise profusely about interrupting them at work. I know that they work really hard. I just thought maybe they'd be interested in what I made. And then I just get a message back saying, can't talk now, going back to work. And I think that brutalness of that makes me think that they've spoken to their partner. Lutate has messaged them. Then I think it says, like, I don't think we should be speaking. I think we just need a bit of time to not speak. Thanks. And then they go offline as well. Oh, man. What do we both like? I think we both like that initial sharing of the industrial news about the Kickstarter. It's that initial passion for like, oh, I know you like this. And I think being aware, that's what I liked about them. But I'm all over the place just now. I feel terrible. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. As they go, we can't talk about it. Yeah, totally understand. Yeah. Okay, so my one friend I've not burnt yet, shredded Ed. So, yeah. Again, I don't think I've ever told them I love them, but I feel pretty close to them. Definitely compared to Lutator, Recalcium. This person, because I guess they're not initially involved with the RPG stream, it feels very much like we enjoy something, and maybe they were just finding their feet with RPG stuff and the gaming and all that sort of thing, and having that initial spark. So I feel like that was pretty cool. But why would I ever tell them that I love them? I think it's still like sort of very new, very sort of fresh, and I don't think it's my place because I was introduced to them as a partner rather than as an individual person, which I need to unlearn that as a person, that sort of bias sort of training. It's like, oh, well, I am a friend of their partner, so through their partner, I'm friends with them. And that's not true. Okay, final conversation. 7 of spades. Something you made, how long you wanted to make it. And what's something you're both interested in? What's something you both like? Okay, so 3d6 for energy. They're currently on 10. So, we'll see. Oh my god. That's 6, 6 and 4. That's 16 energy I have to take from... I've lost all my friends. I share with them the new RPG I'm thinking of. I make that apology, and I say, I'm sorry. I know, yeah, things are, like, it sounds like things are busy at work and stuff. But hey, here's something I've been working on, and I sort of share my my RPG document, and I go in through the whole thing again, and they're like, that's great, good for you. Sorry, have to go. Recal is calling. And they go offline. And that's it. And I think that's it, in terms of the game. I'll be honest, I don't feel great. It's interesting, I guess, because you're constantly moving and shifting between these conversations. Like, I definitely struggled at times. Maybe that's from me not writing stuff down as well. I'm sort of verbalising what I'm saying. But in that last round, I kind of lost it all. I kind of lost all the characters. And there's definitely some of those relationships in there that I'd hope as a person I would be able to say no to. Like, I definitely don't like that Recal person. And that's it all seemed like a very unhealthy thing. And I guess with this game as well, you're not supposed to... these are supposed to be good friends of you. And you met them all at different parts in your life. And they're all important to you. I think maybe it's just someone I talk to every day, and they're important to me because it's nice to talk to people. I don't know. But I enjoyed it overall. It does seem that there is a missing game mechanic. So, like, what if you run out of energy? Which never happened. But would there be I guess you'd feel absolutely rubbish. And it wasn't anything about a friend being removed from play without energy. It'd have to be a joker, or I guess, or I just assumed as soon as you hit 0 energy, they are removed from play. But it doesn't say anywhere, so. But hey, good to know. My social anxiety is well where it was, and I think I need to go tell some of my friends that I love them. What Am I Rolling podcast was created, recorded, and edited by me, Fiona Howat. This episode's player was Fiona Howat. This episode's RPG was User is Typing, Message Sent, a solo RPG of instant messaging and anxiety created by Nevin Holmes. You can find out more information about Nevin's games on itch.io. The theme music was 8-Bit March by Twin Musicon of twinmusicon.org, licensed under a Creative Commons 4.0 license. You want to find out more about the podcast? Check out the website. That's www.wairpodcast.com. Fancy getting in touch? Email the podcast at whatamirollingpodcast@gmail.com. Finally, follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at WAIR_podcast for the latest news on upcoming episodes. And remember, adventurers need not apply.